Let's find out more about the Dubois County Museum. Hello and welcome to 18 WJTS in.form. I'm your host, Bill Potter. Joining me in the studio is someone who is on the board of directors for the Dubois County Museum and also is, I think, the marketing person or public relations person for them. That is Kathy Bachman. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks. Thanks a lot, Bill.
All right. Well, Kathy, the Dubois County Museum, you've had a very busy summer, but you've got a lot of things that are coming up here in the fall to talk about, some exciting exhibits. That last time we talked with Shirley Ray, the nice thing to talk about was the fact that really the museum changes all the time. You've got new, it's much the same, but there's little things that change that make you want to keep coming back.
That's right. And coming up in August, probably the middle of August, we will unveil our new reimagined natural resources exhibit. And what do I mean by new reimagined? It's that some things of that display have been on display for some time, but now our exhibit team, who is really busy, is moving things in from collections. They're moving things around, and it sheds a whole new light on it. And for one thing, one of the things in that exhibit is the Yule pottery collection that we have. And they pulled down two big cases. And so it's really a neat case. It kind of comes into a point, and all that Yule pottery now is lovingly displayed, I think, because before it was here, it was there. And now, if you are a Yule pottery collection, it's really nice to see that all in one place.
And there are people that really love that. And even if you're not a Yule pottery collector, this is the way to see it, and you can find out what people are talking about. What do they mean by Yule pottery? What does it look like? How is it?
And we have a little bit of signage with it about the founders. And you know what? I glanced at it the other day, and I was impressed with the lady that was involved. And I'm sorry, I didn't write down the name. So
well, that's a reason to go to the museum. There you go.
Oh, it's too funny how you think, okay, you got everything straight in your head. No, as soon as you walk away, you're like, no, I forgot. But we also have the St. Henry Sandstone quarry equipment. And you cannot imagine the job that they did with their equipment and how they etched that sandstone, creating a wheel. And the early pioneers would use a sandstone wheel, maybe a grinding wheel, to sharpen all their tools. And they did that at that St. Henry spot. So it's really
see, now right there, I know about sandstone, but I did not know it was done in St. Henry.
Yes.
Cool.
And they had a mine deposit of the sandstone, so they would cut that there. And I remember years ago they were trying to find a grinding wheel on a TV show, and yeah, they would make those. But these are just beautiful work there. We also have the silver smelter there. That was a real bust for Dubois County. It was located in Buck Shoals along the White River, and we brought it into our museum, and someone sold it as you can get rich because there's silver in those hills, and there was not. So we have the smelter there, and we also have a lot in the same exhibit on the CCC, the Conservation Corps, that was in Jasper, as well as Ferdinand and Ferdinand Forest. So there's a lot to see in that. Natural resources, the mines in the area are also there. And they're wanting to bring more in. They don't know how much they could put in it by they want to have this open by the third Thursday. And so they might continually to add it. So all through August and all through, it's going to be on permanent display. So it's a good chance to go see it all.
Now, is it all in one central location, or is it like something spread throughout the museum?
So that's what they created this time. They are moving some of those things that were all over in the museum to that one location. And yet some things still are in a collection, in the exhibit, like the great big crocks that the Yule pottery made are over still in butchering and things. So, but they have brought in a lot of that collection and put it in that area. And I was like, wow, we had this all this time. So it's really, I enjoy seeing it.
So roughly from mid-August forever
Yeah.
is how it's going to be. Now,
Yeah.
the fall also has other events or other displays that you're having, some of the features.
Right. So we're going back to our third Thursday, and those are free nights from 5:30 to 8. And I have my schedule here because my mind is not that good anymore. But September 16th opens with a 4-H exhibit. And I do know we have a crown from an Indiana State Fair queen. So I don't know if that's going to be the 4-H exhibit in September or the home economics exhibit in November. So it's a beautiful queen's crown. October, Spooky Streets are coming back, October 21st, where we will decorate our village and hand out candy to the people. Now, last year we had a cutoff because we didn't know how many we could safely get through, and we'll see how that goes this year. Home economics is November 18th, but it's also the start of our Christmas season, and we'll be having the trees decorated. And so December's third Thursday will be the trees.
Okay. And then, like the August 3rd, September is really the natural resources, which is going to be basically a permanent exhibit. However, when you talk about October, you are talking about a short-term sort of
Yes.
exhibit because it's Spooky Streets. So
Right.
the thing with the museum is, and that's one reason to get a membership, because it's always changing, and you can keep going back over and over and over and see something
Right.
new roughly every month if you want, or every other month.
And we are bringing back some programs now. Archaeology Day is September 11th, where if you have found some items like spear points, arrowheads, tools, and you want them identified, we have the retired state archaeologist, Rick Jones, coming down, and he can identify them for you. One year, a little boy came with some arrowheads in a little Band-Aid box. And I just thought that was the cutest thing. And he got them identified. And we also will have the local Kenny Hoaksong and Derek Haas with us that day that will help identify those items and give talks. We are, again, sponsoring Trivia Night. It's going to be October 9th. And on October 16th, Norb Croft, a farmer, Jasper native, let's just say the Jasper native, and poet, farmer, poet laureate, will be back at the museum. So October is shaping up with some programs. So we're hoping to get back into the groove again.
If you're a member of the museum, you get a newsletter that reminds you of all these things. Okay. Otherwise, you can go to the website and find out that information that way. Okay.
Yes, our Facebook page, our Twitter.
And a lot of this doesn't happen without volunteers who
That's
really
right.
do a lot of work.
Right, and I'm in charge of volunteers, so yeah, Bill, you probably didn't know that, so if you ever want to volunteer,
So
you
if I
don't have any
want-
time.
Okay, all right. If I have some time, I will come and talk to Kathy Bachman.
Yeah, but this summer, it just seems like we were involved with a lot of volunteers doing extra things, and Bill and I were at the 4-H fair, and we realized, oh wow, this is interesting having a booth at the 4-H fair. So I got volunteers to help with the museum stand, and then I would see Bill over at his
I was
stand.
over at our booth, yes.
Yeah, and so that was great to be out in the public and seeing everyone and having free prizes and things with the museum. We're also going to be doing other things this year with a Chamber of Commerce home show and other home shows, and our volunteers just have really hung in there though, and we just have such a great core of volunteers, and I appreciate them so much. I'm working on a new schedule, and if anyone does want to volunteer at the museum, contact me at the museum at 812-634-7733, and I will get in touch with you.
What will a volunteer do? What What can they do?
And you know, I need to bring this up too. Not only work in the lobby, but the exhibit team could use someone on Tuesday nights to help them move things around and put things out on exhibits. So we need help in the lobby to take admissions, help in the gift shop, greet people. We need help with exhibits, and it's amazing. I just was talking to a college girl, and she said, "Hey, I kind of like to volunteer the next few days at the museum. Who do I talk to?" I said, "You talk to me." You know, and she has just been great. She's doing a lot of things for us, and yeah, you just ask, and we'll find you a spot.
Probably a lot of your volunteers are retired, but that does not need to be the case, because you need some people who can get that next generation to continue the
right.
interest in the Dubois County Museum.
That's right. I started out volunteered at the museum on Saturdays, and I was still teaching. So yeah, we have opportunities to volunteer, and if you're, you know, if you really love the museum, if you really love history, it's a great opportunity for you.
Okay, so they should just call the museum or send an email, and somehow you will contact them.
I will.
And you have a great group of volunteers right now. I know that group of volunteers had a great time
We
at
had a great
the
time at the
4-H
fair.
fair. So, and
Yeah.
you're going to have a great time no matter when you do things. All right, Kathy,
Yeah.
thank you very much for
Yeah.
coming in. So a lot of great things going on at the Dubois County Museum throughout the fall, all the way up into Christmas, and then obviously beyond. And if you'd like to volunteer, contact Kathy Bachman, our guest on 18 WJTS. We are local people watching local people.